They came from nowhere, set the radio on fire, and then vanished. One perfect song, then silence. Why do some bands disappear just as they touch greatness? This is the mystery of the 70s one-hit rock wonders and the stories they left behind. The 1970s gave us some of the most powerful music in history. It was a time of rebellion, soul-searching, and sonic experimentation. But not every act became a household name. Some bands had their moment, a single unforgettable hit, and then disappeared. Whether lost to bad luck, bad deals, or changing tastes, these artists left behind more than music. They left behind questions. This is a tribute to forgotten greats, the one-hit wonders who briefly burned brighter than anyone. In 1972, a song about a barmaid named Brandy sailed up the charts and into history. It told the story of a woman who captured the heart of every man except the sailor who loved the sea more than her. Brandy, You're a Fine Girl wasn't just a pop hit. It was a storytelling masterpiece, wrapped in sweet harmonies and anchored by a catchy chorus. The band behind it, Looking Glass, seemed poised for greatness. They had tight musicianship, a clear voice in lead singer Elliott Lurie, and a signature sound that fused folk, rock, and soft pop. But behind the scenes, Looking Glass was fractured. They were college friends from New Jersey, thrown into the deep end of fame without a clear direction. Their follow-up single, Jimmy Loves Marianne, barely cracked the top 40. The momentum was gone. Lurie left the band shortly after. Without their lead singer and songwriter, Looking Glass drifted apart. Elliott Lurie tried a solo career. The rest faded into the shadows. Brandy, though, lived uncovered, sampled, featured in films like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. One song, Immortal. They wrote one of the most iconic love songs of the 70s, but fame was fleeting. And what came next wasn't another chart topper, it was Silence.
Oh, ho, it's magic, you know.
Pilot, Magic, 1974. It was as light and sweet as cotton candy. Magic, by the Scottish band Pilot, sounded like the world falling in love. Echoed across radios in 1974, lifting the band to international attention. Pilot had the ingredients for success. Their song was built on bright melodies, dreamy synths, and a feel-good optimism that could chase away any storm. But the magic didn't last. Their next albums failed to connect. January, a follow-up hit in the UK, never caught on in America. Label struggles and musical shifts pushed them aside. Pilot quietly dissolved by the end of the decade, their spark spent. Magic found new life decades later in commercials and movies. But the band who gave us that light had already vanished. They gave us a song that felt like sunshine in sound waves, then the lights went out. But their sudden fall may have been anything but magical.
Ride, Captain, ride upon your mystery.
It begins like a dream. A mysterious ship, 73 men aboard, sailing into the unknown. Ride, Captain, Ride. Released in 1970 by Blues Image, was a psychedelic rock voyage that invited the listener to escape a world of conformity. Blues Image came out of Florida, soaked in Latin rhythms, rock attitude, and jam band sensibility. The song, built around a spontaneous piano riff and spacey lyrics, soared to 4 on the Billboard chart. But they were already splintering. Their lead guitarist, Mike Panera, soon joined Iron Butterfly. Internal tensions and a lack of direction doomed them. No second hit came. The band broke up within a year. Ride, Captain, Ride became a classic rock staple. But for Blues Image, the journey was short and the ship never returned. Their music sailed into the sky, but they couldn't outrun the storm below. What sank them remains a story few remember. Sugarloaf, Greeneyed Lady, 1970. A hypnotic bass line, jazzy organs, a moody rock groove. Greeneyed Lady by Sugarloaf was one of those songs that sounded like a slow-motion walk through a neon-lit city street. Formed in Denver, Colorado, Sugarloaf's fusion of rock, jazz, and psychedelia set them apart. Their debut single hit 3 on the charts in 1970. Critics loved it. Audiences couldn't get enough. But the band couldn't replicate that magic. Their label changed, they lost promotional support, and their next efforts fizzled. By 1975, Sugarloaf had become a Trivia Question 1 monster hit and gone. Their frontman, Jerry Corbetta, later played with Frankie Valli. But Sugarloaf's moment was over. Their groove was undeniable, their sound ahead of its time. But the hit outshone everything they ever did again. A a song that feels like headlights on a rain-slick road at midnight. Driver's Seat was both intimate and mysterious. Released in 1978, it was a strange breakout for a band with a stranger name, Sniff Tears. Lead singer Paul Roberts crafted a moody, melancholic sound that blended soft rock with an almost new wave sensitivity. The song slowly climbed charts in Europe and America, becoming a quiet hit. But the band couldn't hold together. Members left. Tours were scrapped. The album flopped. Roberts tried to keep the name alive, but lightning didn't strike twice. Decades later, Driver's Seat found cult love in car commercials, in playlists, in nostalgia. The band, however, never returned to the spotlight. They captured the strange magic of midnight drives and broken memories, then vanished into the rear-view mirror.
I've been walking behind you, so you've been...
Few rock intros hit harder than this one. A synthesizer howl, a scream, and then a driving riff that doesn't let go. Never Been Any Reason by Head East was pure Midwestern rock energy, loud, fast, unapologetic. The band formed in Illinois and became local legends. Their debut album sold well, and the song became a staple on FM radio. But that success never spread far outside rock's underground fan base. They released more albums, toured hard, but never cracked the top 40 again. Eventually, members left, the sound changed, and the magic wore off. Today, the song still plays on classic rock stations. But for most, Head East was always a band with that one song. They asked why we don't believe in them, and then the world just didn't. Built like a supergroup but born for only one song, Thunderclap Newman was assembled by none other than Pete Townsend of The Who. Their protest anthem, Something in the Air, topped charts in Britain and echoed across the world in 1970. The song was part revolution, part soft psych dream. It captured the spirit of protest, change, and youth unrest. But the band was never meant to last. Townsend moved on. The lineup couldn't sustain itself. Their one album became a cult artifact. Their one hit became part of film soundtracks and nostalgic flashbacks. They didn't fade, they evaporated. They sang of revolution and disappeared before the echo could return. He wore flaming helmets. He screamed he was the god of hellfire. Arthur Brown wasn't just a musician. He was performance art set to psychedelic rock. Fire became a strange global hit. Theatrical, terrifying, and unforgettable. It set a tone that inspired everyone from Alice Cooper to Marilyn Manson. But his crazy world didn't translate into a lasting career. He rejected commercial norms. His band imploded. And though he kept recording, nothing ever reached the heights of that burning scream. A trailblazer who couldn't walk the mainstream road. It was too strange, too loud, too soon. And just like fire, it couldn't last.
Feels right.
In 1976, a song with marimba solos and soft harmonies took over the airwaves. Moonlight Feels Right was like a postcard from a beach you've never been to. Starbuck was a southern band with an unusual pop rock touch. The song hit 3 in the US, but follow-ups fizzled. Radio didn't know what to do with them. Too soft for rock, too weird for pop. They kept recording, but the magic never repeated. Moonlight Feels Right remained their signature and their only moment. Their song drifted through open car windows that year, and then disappeared with the last warm night. They had the sound, the look, the songs, but they never had the luck. Cargo was part of the Memphis power pop scene, signed to Ardent Records, the same label as Big Star. Their single Feel Alright was praised as a perfect slice of rock pop, but a distribution meltdown meant their album never reached stores across the country. Their label's deal with Stax Records collapsed. Without records on shelves, no one could buy their music even if they wanted to. They disbanded quietly. Their story, like their LPs, became hard to find. They should have ruled the airwaves. But when no one could buy your record, even greatness fades. As the 70s shifted into a new decade, everything changed. Disco ruled. Punk exploded. Radio tightened playlists. Record companies cut risks. For many of these bands, it wasn't about talent. It was timing. They were forgotten not because they failed, but because the system failed them. And sometimes, even brilliance isn't enough. Some went into teaching, others joined different bands. A few vanished completely, and some died before they saw the legacy they left behind. But the songs, they remained. They lived in crates of vinyl, on dusty radio playlists, in the headphones of collectors and dreamers. Each track a time capsule, a spark frozen in sound. A one-hit wonder isn't a failure. It's proof that, for a moment, everything came together. A band, a melody, a feeling, and the world listened. Maybe they didn't stay. Maybe the spotlight was short, but the light still shines. Because even if the world forgets the name the song remembers you.